Overlord, Blazing Hell. Now, Blazing Hell was DLC for the original Overlord. Now, the PS3 version has the DLC in the main game, while the original 360 version down here, if I was to fetch it real quick. Oh, where are you, Overlord? Oh, it is. And to be honest, I actually think the 360 version looks a lot nicer because the minions on the bottom are actually in a different style, oddly, even though the Overlord's in the pretty much exact same position now. I don't know, it just looks like a lot sleeker, and I also would say the same about the back. But this has all the content, this don't. Now, the thing is, the only real problem I had with the PS3 version was I had about 3 times where it froze, and I don't remember that being an issue with the 360 version. That is probably a problem that happened with porting the game. Sadly, my copy doesn't have a booklet. This was a gift for my birthday from Aaron a long time ago. That mainly, I'm going to be talking about the DLC, but I'll kind of talk a little bit about Overlord itself. Overlord is essentially Pikmin. Just imagine if Sauron was a random knight running around with Pikmin, and you got the concept of Overlord. You get to be evil with your minions. Now, like Pikmin, you have different color minions. You have browns, reds, blues, and greens. Browns were generic fighters, greens are like assassins, blues are magic dealers, and they can revive minions that get killed before, like if their corpses are still around, and reds are fire and mob fire. Each one, just like normal Pikmin. Pikmin can deal with, like blue with water, red with fire, green goes with poison, and browns are just browns. But overall, the original concept of Overlord is you wake up, your minions find you, and they tell you, you got ass handed to you, you need to go reclaim your shit, you need to go take over the towns and everything all over again and shit. Now, you progress through the world, and you meet the heroes that will part your downfall. And they kind of all became corrupted, evil, horrible human beings. So you basically, you kill all of them and shit and take over the world and stuff over time with that. Now, unlike Pikmin, though, the Overlord is useful. Like, in Pikmin, while Olimar can attack, like, enemies, like, he can hit them, it is very dangerous for him to do it, and he can't do a lot of damage. The only time Olimar is usually useful is very early in the Pikmin games, where you're not fighting massively hard shit. But, the Overlord can have a variety of weapons, you can upgrade his gear, and you can also enhance them with the minions. By sacrificing different types of minions, they have different effects with the weapons, armor, the helmet, and that. They can give defense, more attack, add fire to your weapon, give you regen on your armor, while your helmet is solely dedicated to the capability of controlling a few extra minions. Because mainly you start out with only a few minions, and as you find relic pieces, you can gain more minions. So the helmet lets you get just a few extra minions if you sacrifice enough, and you gotta sacrifice lots of minions. So I'm not going to go into the story spoilers until the very end with the DLC spoilers, so I'm going to kind of skip the ending of the original Overlord and lump that with the DLC's ending info of that. So, both of those are together, so, if you're worried about spoilers, you don't have to worry about it. So the DLC, what does the DLC add? Because like I said, this is mainly talking about the DLC. The DLC adds a few extra forge molds, a few unique weapons, like the Sword of Life Drain, the Axe of Confusion, which which have, those kind of benefits. The axe causes shit to get confused, and the sword sucks shit. And apparently, I think there was a helmet I didn't find, and there's maybe something else. But the DLC after the ending, it takes place right after the ending story-wise. However, if you've purchased the DLC on the 360, or if you own the PS3 version, the entrance for the first abyss, they'll refer to as the abysses, is open pretty relatively soon in the game. The other abysses didn't become available to me, at least in the PS3 version, until I beat the game. So the first abyss was open early in the game. So you can dwell into it a bit, but it is not recommended early in the game because they are designed for you to basically have all the minion types. So you won't be able to progress incredibly far, and you'll have a lot of disadvantages because you won't have a lot of the upgraded armor and stuff. But necessarily not impossible to do it early. But mainly recommended for after the original game's story. Now, basically what happens in the Abyss is basically these weird pockets of hell that you get to interact, and you get to re-meet all the corrupted heroes you basically murdered. Except for one, which still remains a mystery, and I'll talk about that when we get into the spoilers thing. But basically, we meet all the heroes. The DLC's interesting feature, though, is it felt like the first three Abysses felt a lot more puzzle-oriented. The last Abyss mission is a lot more action-oriented, but definitely the first one you get access to is very puzzle-oriented. But I felt like the first three had a lot more puzzles than the main original game did. In the original game, most of the stuff you needed your minions for, you would send them and they would do. If it needed carried somewhere, they would take it. The DLCs have a few items that they will not automatically move. In the game, it will tell you when you lock on to your minions carrying something, you can manually move them. And the only time in the main game that's really useful is if they get stuck or their AI messes up or something. But in the DLC, there's a few items, like there's a special weird pinball kind of game you have with the first boss of the game, and you have to move this cart of food and stuff, and basically play like Breakout with the opposite side of the wall, because if he stops he'll explode and reset the game. So you basically have to break out all the walls hiding items behind them. It's really interesting. That's probably one of the more fun puzzles, to be honest, but there's a lot of puzzles in the game, in the DLC areas, where you have to manually control your minions. So they clearly went with a mindset of making a more puzzle-oriented eventual. But there's still a lot of fighting, so don't think that you won't get to be as evil in the DLC. Now, as you progress through it, you basically interact with this crazy voice that's concerned about you taking over the Abyss and that, which leads into the ending plot. So, at this point, let's talk about spoilers. So, basically, you find out at the end of the original game that you weren't actually the original Overlord. You were actually one of the heroes who fell early in the adventure of taking on the Overlord, and you died horribly. They went and killed the Overlord and left you for dead because they just figured you were dead. But the Overlord actually possessed the wizard and basically corrupted all the heroes and basically had a merry time destroying everything they fought for. You kick the wizard's ass because he's the previous Overlord. You become the new permanent new Overlord, and that leads into the DLC, which basically your jester betrays you and does some ritual that summons some forgotten god that apparently pissed off the mother goddess that the elves worship, and she cursed him to have his name never be remembered. Like, if anyone tries to remember him, they just forget him more. So he's like obsessed with trying to be remembered, and your Jester for some reason was able to like slightly free him. So you go kick his ass, and sadly he's like, fuck it, you stay here then. So he traps you in the abyss, and you get trapped there, and your minions escaped, and yeah. But your mistress, whichever mistress you picked in the original game, will be shown pregnant, which is supposed to lead into Overlord 2. But overall, which version would I recommend? For the complete physical package, the PS3 version is your only option. You can get DRM-free versions of the complete package too, if you're into that. And of course, the 360 version was the original, and probably the least buggy out of all of them, probably. I definitely have to say the PS3 version felt a little more buggier, probably like I said, because of the porting of it to the PS3. But control-wise and that, it's all the same. It doesn't add like any weird 6-axis or anything. But overall, it's just a batshit silly game that you get to be evil. You can be basically chaotically evil or chaotically lawful. So you can be like evil good, like, you know, I spared you, but you're my slaves anyway, as opposed to I let you die and took the money, you know, it's... There's no absolute pure good, but you don't have to be absolutely pure evil. I really enjoyed it Overlord when it originally came out in the 360. I got really early when it first came out. And the DLC, I'd say the DLC, if you find the PS3 version really cheap, probably not bad to replay the game and try out the DLC. But I wouldn't throw a lot of money at the game. Luckily, GameStop's retarded, and the PS3 version's actually cheaper than the 360 version. Now, I don't know how much the DLC is on the 360, but if I was to price it, I probably wouldn't pay more than $5. Like, $5 would be just the high end. Because it's not very long. It's probably about, like, an hour and a half tops. And if you really know what you're doing, you probably do way under an hour. It's not incredibly long. It doesn't have a lot to add to the story. It just adds a little bit that leads into Overlord 2. It's mainly just goofing around with the former heroes really a lot. Like with Sir William, it's absolutely ridiculous because you use Sir William to clean up the abyss and shit. It's ridiculous fun. But overall, I wouldn't pay more than $5 for it. Luckily, I think the GOG version ain't very much, though. Like I said, that's a complete package, too. So if you don't even have the original Overlord, that's fine. So I'd probably recommend the PC versions that come with the full thing, or the PS3 version, so you just have it all. If you already own the 360 version, if you don't see one of the ones that have the DLC cheap, or for some reason the 360 sells it cheap, I wouldn't pay more than $5 for it. But really, if you can find it for $1 or $2, that's probably definitely a good deal for it at least. Then, but $5's probably top wall for just the DLC. Now the whole game, if you've never played the original Overlord, yeah, I mean go get the game. The whole game as a package. You know, you can probably find Overlord pretty much around $10. But I do know that, because I had a viewer I was talking to, he told me the 360 version was actually more at GameStop, which doesn't really make sense. But, yeah, they're around $10 of that, but, you know, if you want to go really collect or look for a complete copy, guarantee you have the case and manual and stuff, I probably wouldn't pay more than $20, because it is an old title. It's not a very modern title, and, if you care about trophies and achievements, the PS3 version does not have trophies. It was before trophy support, and the company did not patch trophies in it. So if you're really concerned about that, and you want that, you'd have to get you'd have to get the 360 version. I'm assuming it would probably be on Steam, so it probably has Steam achievements too, but I don't know that for a fact though. So, but just game-wise, with the consoles, I'd recommend the PS3 version. Just a few random freezes is worth it for the complete package, in my opinion. Like I said, it only happened 3 times, and the game autosaves, so it's not like a horrible, crushing, horrible... Like, you'd have to be in a very unique situation to be really, really screwed. It autosaves at a lot of checkpoints, so... Very unlikely to be... You're probably unlikely to lose a large chunk of the game. Overall, it's a simplistic game. It's old. Like I said, if you like going really completionist, clean, brand new kind of thing, I wouldn't pay more than 20. But you should be able to get around $10 around. Whichever console version you want is up to you. If you have any questions or anything on Overlord, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will get you with you. Thank you for checking out the channel and the video, and I hope to see you in the comment section. To the booze. And don't forget, evil always finds a way.
Get it! That troll ate my brother! Get us out of here!
Our liberator! Hey, we don't need this crane anymore. You take it.
Well, it is ours, wretched creatures. Quickly, sire, have your minions bring it to the waypoint gate.
Hurrah! We're free! Yay! Thank the gods! Come on! Let's go to spring!
For me, nice. For me.
saved us! Our boys are safely home! Oh, a fine job, my lord.
Oh, never doubted you for a second. We were just having a little fun with you earlier. No offense, eh?
Have your fellas move our barrier, then go and have a tankard or two at a Happy Mule. It's on me.
Ah, it's nice to see folks enjoying themselves for a change. Quite a wild bunch, aren't they? Back home in Ruboria, I'm called Archibald Damius Methuselah Wobbleboard III, but folks round here just call me Archie. We've had some tough times. The halflings have ransacked most of the farms and everyone's turned up in spree on my doorstep. They voted me mayor. I got the drinks, yeah, but no food to feed them. Look, I really need some, valiant knights to get us back the food the halflings stole from us. Their village lies to the east. I bet they're keeping it there. Go on. Full tummies for us equals fuller pockets for you, if you get my drift. I'll bet a barrel of beer that our food is in the halfling village to the east. Man, those halflings didn't eat all that food, did they?
Thank you for freeing us.
We're starving here. I miss my Ruboria. Dry as a dead man's tongue, and sandstorms so bad you'd be sneezing glass for a week.
For the master! Treasure!
Hold back. I give up.
For you!
Hold back. I give up.
Now we have the crane, we can start to rebuild your tower, sire. That crane is just the job. Your minions are opening up the dungeon. Do go see it. It's so soothing. You can fight almost anything you like down there, providing you've already defeated it once. You should be off smiting things, Master.